Your Miami Hurricanes concluded hate week with a 36-14 win over the hated Knowles.
It's the recap show. It's the recap show. Beat those bums in front of a sold out crowd. How did it look, Scoopy? You were there. How did it look?
Yeah, I didn't go.
Oops. we thought he went.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's look, I watched the whole thing. Sometimes life's busy, man, as we all know, and you couldn't go and Toast couldn't go, and ultimately I couldn't go as well. However, I did watch the game. And can we firstly, I'd like to start off with saying our condolences and best wishes for the Fletcher family, if we could. That's a tough one. That dude was pretty awesome, and certainly going to be missed in a big way. Big Mark was pretty special. And for those of you who got mad at me tweeting something out without mentioning names, and I gave it plenty of time, and it was already out there, by the way, but you get mad at me and tell me it's for clicks. Do me a favor, if you don't mind. If you listen to the show, stop listening. Couldn't care less. Go do something else. We couldn't. That type of shit drives me off my rocker. So we're gonna miss him in a big way. And congratulations to Little Mark for step up and having that first touchdown was pretty awesome.
I was watching the little daughter's regional semifinal game, and I had it in my ears. So I was like watching, my eyes were watching volleyball. My ears were locked into the hurt. And when he scored, and obviously he was the first touchdown of the night, it took everything in my power. I was in the back of the gym, just like trying not to, because what a special moment. And I could only imagine what he was going through at that. And yeah, tough. But, I think, and everybody thought that, when you meet Big Mark, he was larger than life character, but there was nothing more in the world he would have wanted than his son to go out and play the way he did, and for the University of Miami to respect the brand, and they did.
All right. So 36-14, spread was 21.5. They cover by the hook. It certainly wasn't the dominating scoreboard performance. A lot of Cane fans were wanting us to put up a 50 spot, a 60 spot, humiliate them, just absolutely win this thing by 50, by 40, whatever it is. It didn't work out that way. It was still a pretty convincing win. I mean, FSU was never in this game. And outside of that one bizarre, crazy 42-yard run by Cromanhoek, I still don't understand how that even happened, that led to their first touchdown. They were on pace to do absolutely nothing offensively, and they really didn't do anything offensively. No. But still, the score wasn't where a lot of folks wanted it to be. And also with our predictions, we thought it'd be a bigger margin. So how do you guys feel about this win?
I think these people are delusional. Like you beat. Here's what they did, which I thought that, and we've talked about this many times, how nobody tries to make Miami run the football. We haven't come into a situation where they said, you know what, Cam, not today. Not today. We're going to do our best to derail your Heisman hopes. Run the ball. Can you? We thought they could. They haven't been forced to. Yesterday, they were forced to and ran for 250 in between the A-gaps, essentially. They ran nowhere else. And they ran at will. That was big boy. That was Mario Cristobal football to a T. That's exactly, if he had his way, maybe not this year. If he had his way, that's what he wants every game to look like. I want to run for 250. We're going to hold them to 2 scores, and we're going to beat you by 3 touchdowns. You just beat FSU by 3 touchdowns. Easily. They were, like you said, never in the game. Never even close to being in the game. It was a ass kicking. It just wasn't the high flying glitz and glamour ass kicking. This was old school, hard nosed, kick you in the teeth and run you out of the building.
Listen, I put a tweet out on social, and I thought about the game a little bit after it was done, and I was like, because the eye candy, but it was college eye candy. So I said, play this with me. Put it under an NFL lens. Put it under NFL lens. Make Miami Hurricanes an NFL team, make Florida State an NFL team just for that day. And then listen to these stats. All right, University of Miami had 5.8 yards per carry. They had 230 yards on the ground. They kept the time of possession 35 minutes, right? So that's to their 24, 35 and change, and they had 24 and change. And they scored 7 out of the 9 possessions that the University of Miami had it. That is an NFL ass kicking, complete NFL style ass kicking. We've asked for an NFL caliber team. We've also had a hard time winning this time of year, right? We've gotten off the fancy hot starts in the beginning of the year, and then maybe some of the luck and gimmicky and gadgetry kind of like fell by the wayside. So how do you got to win late? We all know how you got to win late. How do you got to win late? How do you got to win late? You got to be able to run the football. And it's exactly what we did to our rival. It was an NFL ass kicking.
So 40 rushing attempts. They averaged 5.8 for the game. Believe this is the first game where we had more rushing yards than passing yards. 230 to 215.
Totally. Yeah.
I mean, and listen, pass average per completion was 9.3. So it's not as, I guess my only issue, and now I'll go by you here, Ro. So there seemed, and tell me if I'm wrong here. It seemed like Cam at a lot of points was ignoring everything short, really wanting the big play when he was running around like that. Is that accurate, or was everything really just covered? Like, because then later in the game, they were hitting those short slants and moving the ball more in the fourth quarter. It just seemed like he was really going for the knockout punch every single throw.
With the style of defense that Florida State plays, especially when they're aggressive and man, they're always going to kind of like favor that one X guy. So as a quarterback, you see that safety kind of go away from the X guy, you're immediately thinking to take the shot. I mean, especially with Cam Ward, it's in his DNA. So they're going to invite the shot. And when you miss it, Florida State, it's kind of playing into their hands, right? We just didn't hit those shots. That was the thing. It was like boxing, Toast. It was like I know we were trying to take the haymaker. We were just missing off the top of the head. We were trying to take the shot, but then what worked? Okay, at the 10th round, 11th round, after all the body blow, they threw in the white towel. They had nothing. We ran the will right out of them, right? That's it. So, yes, but Mario Cristobal, and I will highlight this on Student of the Game as well. Mario Cristobal did say they did change coverages a lot on the back end. So, which, that's NFL-esque. I mean, those defenses, they're crazy, right? They're going to change things constantly. So, just something, got to tip your cap there, but it's the way they wanted. They wanted to take away the big play. They wanted to limit the haymaker, but you left your body exposed, Florida State.
Would like to just point out that winning is hard in college football. You can go ahead and talk to Penn State about that. They had a struggle at Wisconsin. Ohio State really wanted to lose to Nebraska. They did everything they could to lose to Nebraska, but finally pulled that thing out with Will Howard. Vandy, 3 points away from knocking off Texas. Oregon knocks off Illinois. That was a decent, convincing win. But yeah, listen, man, you cover the spread again. That's my biggest thing. Vegas says it should be 21.5. You win by 22. There shouldn't be a knock on it.
Vegas is awesome.
Vegas is good at what they do. They're pretty good at picking these numbers.
Right there.
They're really good.
The fact that they said it. I'm happy. It wasn't okay. You missed some haymaker shots, but I'm happy because we've had a problem winning late, Miami Hurricane fans. We've had a problem winning late. Late in the year is when notoriously the wheels fall off for the University of Miami. How many bowl games have we won? Come on, be honest. Be honest. So you're going to have to, and Toast just alluded to it, when it's so hard to win in college football, sometimes you're going to have to win in an unorthodox fashion to you, right? But to Mario Cristobal, he knows that way can work. I built this offensive line for this reason, because when the quarterback's off and they're not letting me take shots over the top, I have to be able to win in this fashion. We can. I don't think all the other teams in the country, we have a Heisman hopeful candidate at the quarterback position, right? And I'm more scared as a defensive coordinator after this week than I am, because how, you know what I'm saying? They could clock me in one punch, or they can literally ground me out and ground and pound. So it's like you're thinking that there's probably more things that you should worry about as an offense. I think it's the other way around. I think defenses have a lot more to contend with now because we do have a formidable running game. And listen, we haven't touched on him particularly. Damian Martinez. Hello. I think after that run against Louisville where he took the whole team into the end zone, he's like, you know what? I got this. Because now you're like, hey, when is RB1 going to be RB1? He's been RB1. He was RB1 second half of Louisville and RB1 all day, right? So got to give credit to that guy too because he was a free agent pickup, and that ROI played good against Florida State. I'm just saying.
I do want to bring up X, couple more notches up the ladder. He moved to second all-time, passing Reggie Wayne for the most receptions at the University of Miami. And he also moved up to third all-time, passing Michael Irvin for the most receiving yards in the history of the University of Miami. Congratulations for continuing that climb. Can't wait till you hold both those records. Put your name, retire a 7.
And Florida State was not going to, speaking of dodging the haymaker, a lot of times that haymaker comes in the form of XR7. So they kept him relatively quiet on the stat sheet, and they kept Cam Ward relatively on the stat sheet. I think those things are going to kind of go hand in hand. I'll pay attention to the game. We'll figure out exactly how they did it. But still, there's a lot of ball to be played, and you got to pick your poison, right? We've said it. It just seems like throughout the course of the season, they've just been picking that, we'll let him beat us in the past game. But Florida State just said no.
Yeah, they said no. They said not today. And there's a lot of people out there mad at Mario for continuing to run the football last night and letting Damian just look again. He ran right behind the center, right between the guards. I mean, he didn't even get touched, for Christ's sake. So don't get mad. Don't get mad about it.
I will. I want to give a little props to the defense in general. One of the big issues for this team has been giving up big plays. Only one play over 40 yards. That was that bizarre, crazy rugby style run with Croman Hulk. I still don't understand how that happened. Then after that, you had 2 plays where you gave up receptions of over 20 yards. That was it. But for the most part, you shut down the big play. The one you did give up did lead to that one touchdown early on that kind of had everybody, the game was a little bit closer than we thought it would be at the end of the first half. But yeah, the defense was tackling better and didn't give up the big plays, which I thought was a pretty big deal. Made me happy.
Yeah, I think so. I think Kiko led the team in tackles the most part. I didn't necessarily think, run support was a lot better. I thought the angles, are you being obtuse? I didn't think we were so obtuse. Florida State's offense is probably relatively the worst one we're going to face, throughout the course of the year. They are historically bad this year. But still, they're trying to create some wrinkles. They did borrow some things. We said that. They did borrow some plays from that. I mean, it was at the very end, you let a motion play. They ran the same one twice, and they beat you. So they were using some things that I've seen on film that other people did. But, ultimately, when you could go ahead and just what do we held them? They, again, below their average. All right. Yep. They don't score a lot of points, but we still held them below their average. You're going to take that out.
They're still second to last. Houston scored 17, but didn't quite catch them. They're neck and neck, but they have the fewest touchdowns in the country. At 13 touchdowns for the season.
Can we just talk about that? I know we're talking about Miami and the superlatives, but and there's really one Florida State fan. He's been he's fine. He's one of the few Florida State followers I have, and we have decent conversations. It never really gets beyond animation, right? It's just like pleasantries. But he's like, "Oh no, don't worry, we're gonna rebuild." That's not rebuilding. We're gonna no. He said it's gonna be a bounce back. Don't worry, we're gonna bounce back. How do you bounce back from 1-7? To me, and I kind of gave away the thunder, I think that's more rebuilding. You have to rebuild. This isn't a climbing thing. This is a face plant. How are you that bad? I know we said it. How are you bad? Now we played them. So let's comment on how are they that bad? How are they in this situation where, Scoop, you just said it. They're the second to worst team. You were 13-0 to that.
It's simple.
How?
It's simple because they don't have, listen, they have a decent defense. Their issue is an offense, and they went out and they got the wrong quarterback. Like, dude, the quarterback fixes everything in college football, especially the really good one. As we can see firsthand with Cam, what he's bringing to the table. DJ ain't that guy, but that's who they went all in on, and he is awful.
I got a question for you. Might be the hardest question you're going to field all year. Okay? If Cam Ward was on the Seminoles, what would their record be?
I think they're sitting there at like 7-1, 6-2 at the worst. With that defense, yeah, I think they're putting up 35 a game with Cam. And with that defense, yeah, they're like
I don't know. I mean, FSU's offense is not as well supported. I mean,
well, the offensive line is not as good.
The offensive line's not nearly as good.
Yeah.
The offensive line's Washington State good.
We gave up more sacks last night, by the way.
Yes,
correct.
We did.
The receivers on FSU can't sniff Miami's receiver room right now. So I mean, could they be 6-2? Sure. I mean, obviously it's a tough question, and we're playing Toastradamus here, but
I gotcha.
I don't think they're not 8-0. That team's not nearly good enough to be 8-0.
I got him like 6-2, 6-2, 5-3, not 1-7. I do agree with you. The quarterback makes everything, but the quarterback, they're not going to even Cam Warden's not going to Jordan Travis them. I think they have a lot more issues than that.
I agree with you, but the bigger thing is they've got two guys there who the one's been there, Brock, right? Glenn, whatever.
Yeah.
He was there last year.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he's been in the system, and you've got the other guy, the true freshman who just got there, and Mike Norvell is the QB guru, and he's the offensive mastermind, and he did all of they're the worst, just call it what you will. They're the worst offense in the country. They scored the least amount of touchdowns in the country. They've averaged less than half, I don't even know how to say that, of what they averaged on the ground last year. They averaged 150 on the ground last year, a game. They averaged less than 75 yards a game this year. That's not all quarterback.
You can make the argument they are one player away from this being their 7th straight losing season.
That is not an argument. It's a fact.
Jordan Travis is the only reason why this is not their 7th straight losing season. And you guys
been there, 5 years?
I mean, yeah, he's been there 5 years, and he had the 2 before were Taggart or whatever.
And it's not it's not
they had 4 straight losing seasons before the Jordan Travis those 2 years.
It's not the quintessential, hey, wait until his guys get here. I mean,
no, his guys are here.
5th year.
Yeah.
This is not
these are all his guys.
When we took that ass whooping. We took that ass whooping. Yeah, we took that ass whooping. We could use that argument. Wait till he gets his guys. Now he's got his guys in here 3 years later from that loss at home, and look what we did. I don't know what your excuse is. It's not the guys.
All right, so he was in the teens the last 2 years in recruiting classes. Not terrible. I mean, look, at Clemson, when they went on their run, they averaged 13th.
10th to 13th, yeah.
Right, every year. They're in the 30s. 34, 35-ish for this season. It's a 25 recruiting class. They're not going to get better in that class. That class isn't getting better. It's only going to get worse, which means that he's going in the totally opposite direction that you want to go to be able to build a program. Like Mario's built a program. He had lightning in a bottle 1 year. Year and a half. And he's going the wrong direction on the foundation.
Did you hear Mario and off the backs of this scoop? Did you hear him BDE it in terms of recruiting
at the end?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh
yeah. Good.
Yeah. Only one team's on the
trajectory. Be vocal about it. Tell everybody.
Listen, I'll be honest.
He pounded it.
He pounded it. Listen, the reality is the number 2 if I had to be a fan of another team in the state besides Miami, the only other team that's going in the right direction in my mind obviously would probably be UCF. I mean, they're struggling with the move to a bigger conference, but at least they have some sort of the Gators and the Knolls are lost right now. They are wandering the wilderness. And they don't know what's going on.
They should switch coaches. What if they did that? If FSU took Bayou Billy and Florida took Mike Norvell, would this be any different?
Listen,
I'll
be
honest.
How
bad they are respectively, because neither of those programs would want the other. That's how you know how bad they are.
Here's the thing, though. At least Florida seems to have a stud at quarterback right now that they can build around for the next couple of years. And the quarterbacks, I mean, I think Lagway might actually be the real deal.
If he stays.
If he's not 100%, well, and that's why they need to keep. I don't keep talking about these losers.
You brought it up.
I know I did. So, all right. So let me ask you this: was that the toughest defense we're going to face, or is this Saturday the toughest defense we're going to face?
Virginia Tech.
I think Manny's defense is the toughest, but Tech's pretty good.
Virginia Tech's got a nasty defense. By the way, they held Georgia Tech to 6 points.
6 points.
6 points. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hayes King play there, or Jenners, or no? He did not.
And I told you, and I know that makes a big difference with your quarterback there, but I told you that defense was legit. That was
the front four is the best we'll face all year by a mile.
You're going to be totally annoyed by this. Okay. I already have my keys to the game for Duke.
I don't want to hear them.
All right, I know.
You already put the soliloquies together?
Yes, I already had it.
I'm pretty annoyed by that. Yeah.
Did you already give Jenners the heads up for the movie clips he'll need?
No,
it's I haven't even found my way. Found my way to
this is the October surprise for me, where I get to spend 6 hours putting together one piece to the game clip.
Literally, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I'm late to the
I'll
recap.
Stop doing that. I'll stop doing it if it's that much work.
I have to do it now.
No.
Now it's
no,
expected.
You set a precedent. Yeah, you set a precedent.
My bad.
Yeah,
but no,
fucking Jenner's just violating various copyright and trademark, just grabbing all the footage off of YouTube, recklessly just stealing footage.
Yeah. I think it was a convincing win. Anybody who's tried to tell me otherwise, I'm just not buying it. I mean, it's a rival. Yes, they're a bad rival this year, but you covered the spread, right? And I don't realistically see how they could keep the University of Miami out of the top 5 now, especially when you have one lost team.
The only way to do it is Ohio State has to drop.
Well, there was the other who was 5.
Oh, listen, bro. This is going to be. I guarantee
Texas,
you. Hold on.
Texas played close.
That's what I'm saying. Vandy beat Alabama. No chance,
bro. One of these pollsters.
Ohio State has to go to 6.
One of these pollsters, I guarantee you, has Indiana jump us
from 17.
No, they're 13. They're undefeated. Yeah, I guarantee one of these.
The one guy
from Arizona
has. Here's the tragedy.
Indiana at 7 and us at 10. I saw that today.
And the Big Ten team probably has the next likely. I mean, Pitt's undefeated.
Yes, they are.
Pitt is undefeated.
7
and they're like not ranked. Duke was 6-1. They played a tight game to SMU. I thought that was way to screw that up at the end, Manny. You forced us.
You know what? Thanks for getting us a noon game.
Yeah, thanks,
dumbass.
Manny.
Like, are you kidding me? We went from 7 p.m. and a brilliant night at Hard Rock to 12 o'clock.
Listen,
because the guy went for 2.
Pitt SMU 8 p.m. at night.
Yeah, they took our spot
on Saturday. Yeah,
yes,
they took our game.
Network.
It's 7-1 and
because
8-0.
Manny is Manny.
But Pitt's not ranked, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, but they will be. They will be.
But they're 8-0. They're 8-0. And how are you 8-0 in a P4 conference and not at least 23, 24, or I'm sorry, 7-0? How are you like this? Isn't this shouldn't even be possible?
I know. I think you're incorrect.
What? They're 7-0.
I understand.
We're checking to see if they're ranked, though.
Oh, sure. Yeah, they're number 19.
Yeah.
Yes, they sure are. Number 19.
Definitely.
They're ranked ahead of SMU.
So I didn't want to go way down that rabbit hole when he was
all good.
19, undefeated 19.
I got to throw this out, boys.
Yeah,
congratulations. We won our 3-way underdog bet.
We did.
On the BYU UCF game. BYU got his 2 passing touchdowns. RJ Harvey had also scored, and Jakari was only 9 rushing yards. That was lower than 72.5.
I did see that yesterday.
That was a big number.
Dude, we bet $25 and won 111.
There we go.
On that one. There you go.
By the way, the teams that are ahead of you in the rankings right now, Oregon won 38-9 over number 20 Illinois.
They're not moving. They're 1.
Yeah, UGA obviously was on a bye week. Yeah. Penn State beat Wisconsin 28-13.
They struggled in that game.
Ohio State scraped through to survive Nebraska 21-17.
That's the only one.
And Vandy was only lost by 3 to Texas, 27-24.
Yeah,
only way
Miami needs to go to 4.
Texas, no.
Move those one-loss teams who just played close games because that's why you've been.
I'm telling you, the only way this happens. Let's be real. It shouldn't be, but this is the way it happens. If Ohio State goes to 6, Texas goes to 4, Miami goes to 5. That's the only option. There's no other option.
Texas
Ohio
lost
State.
already.
If Ohio State doesn't go to 6, Miami's not getting in the top 5 because Texas is not
All
going
right.
anywhere.
Let me ask you both this. 4 games left. I would think significant favorites in all 4 of these games. On a scale of 1 to 10, how nightmarish is it, 10 being the worst nightmare, if they lose any one of these 4 going into the end of the season?
It's nightmarish if you lose one and then you lose the conference championship game. But
Right.
I hope because the way this is rolling out there, I hope if we lose one game, we still have an opportunity to play.
Exactly.
Because who knew SMU was going to do SMU things, or Pitt?
Yeah,
And
4
Clemson
teams are
just-
undefeated in the conference right now. Clemson, Miami, SMU, and Pitt. So you got 4 undefeated teams in the conference.
And next week they'll drop
Pitt,
down to
SMU
these
play.
Right. They'll play. Yep.
Who does Clemson have next week?
They're playing Virginia Tech.
But Clemson
soon.
has to play Pitt also in a couple of weeks.
And they have to, I believe they have to play Virginia
Clemson's-
Tech and SMU
Clemson's got Louisville.
and
Yeah.
Louisville.
Yeah,
What's
and
Louisville, then at Va-Tech.
at
Yeah.
Pitt. Yeah.
Oh, that Citadel game, though. They might lose the Citadel game.
No,
Still
at
got
Va-Tech.
They still have Va-Tech and Pitt and Louisville.
Yes.
Yeah,
Va-Tech
that's
and
not
Pitt are
gonna
on the
be easy.
road.
You know, the cog in all this is Pitt.
Yes.
Pitt has their destiny in their own hands.
If they go undefeated, they go to Va-Tech, they go and beat Pitt, they go ahead and watch them jump us even with 1 loss. They'll
Bro,
jump.
Pitt's got a crazy schedule coming up, man. At SMU, at Louisville, at BC, and then home against Clemson and Virginia. So Virginia really the only easy game there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be carnage the last 5 weeks. For
It
the
is.
ACC.
It really
But
is.
University of Miami has kind of the ball in their home court. I mean, they're going to be favored in
Mhm.
all they already
Oh
are.
yeah.
We have the
They
easiest
went out.
remaining
There's
schedule.
no chance. Yeah.
We have the easiest remaining schedule in the conference. Duke, home at Georgia Tech, home against Wake, at Syracuse, where Kyle McCord throws pick sixes like their Christmas presents.
Oh, I saw them against Pitt.
Oh,
I think
Jesus.
they had 3 pick
3.
sixes.
He's the
in
reason why
one
we
of
lost
first
the
round.
underdog bet the first night.
5 picks, 3 to the house.
Insane.
That's bad.
That was not good.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Oh no, this is not good.
No, it's not. It's
Someone's
not
going to
good.
need a spanking.
All right. Any more storylines on?
I gotta go
Monday
find that
Night-
audio. Hang on, I have it. Wait, because we gotta add
Hold
this.
on.
So
You got-
Toast hit me with this before the show started. Do you want to set this up? Do they hear this?
I don't know if you guys, we don't do politics here, but there was a moment, a clip I saw of Tucker Carlson, I guess, introing President Trump and talking about spankings that we all needed.
You've been a bad little girl and you're getting a vigorous spanking right now.
After
Daddy's
Trump takes
coming home.
office, Daddy's coming home.
It was saying that President Trump is daddy.
That was just disturbing.
He was implying that half the country needs a spanking
Oh well.
because they've been very bad.
It's been very, very
And daddy's coming home.
You've been a bad little
You're gonna-
girl and you're getting a vigorous spanking right now.
Oh, hey, right now. So yeah, look, I mean, what else
Oh.
is there to talk about? It was for anyone who was bored. Okay, I get it, right? It's not what we're used to seeing the previous 7 weeks, but they forced you to play that hand, and for anyone who thought we couldn't run the ball, that's now dispelled. So if you're going to eliminate one option in its entirety, right? So you're not like playing both sides. You were saying we're not going to let them beat us through the air, and that's your focus. Miami can run the ball. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised one of those didn't pop. I thought it was going to be AJ who was going to get it.
AJ almost got loose.
Yeah. Because
Well, Damien had the one that
Well,
was kind of
Damien
like
had the one on
Kromenhoek in the fourth quarter where he kind of rolled off the tacklers to the left and busted loose for like 30 yards.
And
yeah.
he missed that stiff arm. I thought he
Mhm.
was going to throw him into next week and keep going, but he kind of whiffed on it. But look, that is ground that Rose said it perfectly. That is an NFL ass kicking right there. That is ground and pound, old school. I felt like I was Washington, the Riggins Redskins yesterday, right? I mean, that's for people who enjoy watching the ability to run the ball.
Mario
That was
does.
fun. That was fun. Like that Mario was in heaven.
Six
Well, and
times.
also, listen, man, the
Still been
defense was going up a team with nothing to lose, so they went for it on every fourth down. They didn't
Oh,
give a
yeah,
shit.
true,
Norvell didn't
true.
give a shit. So, like, it was a whole different. Like, the defense had to play 4 downs, not just 3 to get off the field. Like, there was added stress there. Like, listen, they
They tried 7 times.
threw everything against the wall he could against
7
this
fourth down
team.
attempts.
Yeah.
So they were 4 of 7 on 4th down. It
Why
was
would
like
you
your
punt? You're
annoying
1 and
buddy
6.
on Madden. He never punted.
Like,
It was
why
that.
would
It was
you?
like,
Yeah.
You had nothing
Yeah.
to lose.
Yeah, they didn't. You're right.
Nothing.
They went for it every 4th down.
All the
I
time.
think they punted twice.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, we did great on 3rd down defense. They held them to 3 for 13. They were 4 of 7 on 4th though.
It was always like 4th and 1, 4th and 2.
Yeah,
and they did that stupid tush push, basically.
Boo.
and
we don't do the tush push. That's the only thing. That's the most upsetting part. Why don't we do the tush push?
Yeah, I don't know.
Good question. They like Martinez and Fletch to get a head start.
Yeah.
All right.
Get it cranked up.
And to the announcers, to the announcers, oh, how do you feel about them running up the score?
Man, that one guy. Who was that? Osweiler? Who did we have?
Dude.
Oh, I was doing the stream, so I didn't hear any of the play-by-play.
Oh, my
there was
goodness.
a lot. There was a lot of stuff.
When we had that last rushing touchdown, and it was Damian Martinez ran into the end zone. They were like, "Oh, well, you could have just kneeled." I was like, "Dude,
oh, stop it!"
Oh, and they wanted him so badly to go for the touchdown at the end of the first half. Like it was a little obnoxious. Like it was a little obnoxious. Like the first of all, I don't know why Canada's run out of bounds. Second of all, I'm not sure why you don't spike that and save that timeout. Because you just got a first down, but you take the timeout and now you're kind of stuck, right? So it's you're on the 2, the 3, and the announcers wanted them so badly to go for it and not get it instead of taking the points. It was so bad. I'm like, guys, let's not be too obvious here. It was pretty obvious.
I have some audio here. I have not listened to it, but I just did a quick Twitter search because I saw it this morning, the running up the score thing. I don't know if it comes through on this because it looks like it was filmed on someone's phone, but
they're going to score again. Watch. I guarantee you they're going to score. 42. Big hole. Let's go.
All right, no, that's just a minute.
I don't think that was it.
No, that's just
that was the reaction to us running up the score.
That's all it was.
Yeah, dude.
That's just
man.
Yeah,
I did see that this morning. I saw posts all over the place about them commenting about running up the score.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
This one out.
You ran up the score. Did you? FSU came back and scored a touchdown.
Yeah. Bro, you
did
covered
you
by
guys
the
just stop
hook.
playing the football game, or are you going to keep playing the football game?
You covered by the hook. That's not running up the score.
I just thought it was so weak. I just thought it was so weak for them to say that, especially off the backs of we remembered what they did at home 2 years ago to us. Come on, shut up. It's a rival.
Brock
you don't
Osweiler, like, just stop.
I think Brock was no, you don't. I think it was the original announcer, the OG. I think he was the one who was pushing for them to kind of kneel. And I think Brock actually said, "Do you remember what last time? Just why even? This is a rivalry game for me. It's uber obvious. It's like, oh, the sun is hot, right? I come out and be like, this is a rivalry game. They are not taking a knee. End of story. That's your storyline. Why did you? Should you take a knee? I don't know. Go hide under your mama's skirt.
They didn't throw the ball.
No,
they didn't. It's not like they went 5 wide and just tried to dissect you and embarrass you. They just ran it in between the guards. So if you can't get bodies in the way to slow the guy down, as Mario said 2 years ago, it's our job to stop them. And one day, the shoe's going to be on the other foot. Happened quicker than I thought it would, to be quite honest with you, but here we are.
I will say, kind of interesting. When you look at the carry breakdown, Damian and Mark each had 15, but I would have thought after the way the season started, at this stage, you'd see Jordan Lyle with more than 1. It's interesting. Like those two guys, Damian and Mark, have really solidified themselves as we're 1 and 2. Like, this is our show. The kids, you guys can wait till next year.
Yeah, think about it. It's 15 carries each.
Yeah.
You're at 30.
Had 40 for the game.
But it's only 15 each.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Cam had
They're
7.
barely touching the ball.
Yeah.
And you're running it 40 times. So there's not necessarily a need to get Lyle a ton of touches. And look, AJ he's the best number 3 back in the country. I mean, can we say that pretty confidently? I would think. Because, dude, he's lightning in a bottle, to be honest with you.
Late.
Like,
he's shifty. He's the shiftiest.
He is tough to deal with.
Yeah.
Especially when you're tired. Like that dude, I bet he loves coming in then. because he's like, these guys are slow. Every week he's coming in like, all right, this is gonna be fun. Yeah.
All right, final thoughts, boys, and we'll get out of here. Get this posted so we can start watching. Hopefully, the two and the Dolphins turn the season around.
Oh, is he back?
You guys watch NFL? Well, you
I'll
gonna
watch-
waste a Sunday watching football?
The wife will, yeah, and I'll watch my Seahawks at 4:00.
God,
You
what
know.
an awful way to watch.
I'll watch my
Hawks.
team. What else am I gonna do on a Sunday?
To spend
Go Hawks.
Sunday. You can do all kinds of shit other than
What
watching the
else? What
NFL.
else am I gonna do?
Anything other than watch the Dolphins.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna watch the Dolphins.
Literally anything.
Mm-hmm.
You could paint your ceiling and it would be better.
You want? Well, I know what I will be doing, boys. My final thoughts. It was an NFL ass kicking. I enjoyed it, and I'm gonna head over to the lab.
There we go.
It was great. It was great. There wasn't a single bit of nervousness or anxiety, or it was a testament to what Mario has been trying to build, a true foundation in the trenches to be able to go out and dominate a game and never have the opponent have an opportunity to be even close. And they did. You held them to under their average on all stats offensively. You scored the second most points of them of the year, and I think SMU had a pick 6 to get to 42. So that was all around fantastic evening. Well done. We appreciate that.
Good stuff, boys. All right, we'll be back with it this week. I think we'll actually maybe do a normal drop, right?
Wednesday looks good.
There you go. All right,
Works.
so
Slightest idea. Oh, shout out to Julian Luke too. That she had the OBB shirt that she held out and took a photo, and it was
Boys are
glorious.
here.
We appreciate the advertisement. We're sorry we couldn't be there, but we do appreciate the love. Thank you very much.
as always, go Canes!
Go!
Range.